Hi, I'm Lesley Logan. I'm a PMA Pilates certified instructor. I'm here in Los Angeles with Chanda Hinman, also a PMA Pilates certified instructor. We're nice and warmed up, so let's get started with pull straps. On one spring, lie onto your stomach, shoulders at the edge of the box. Taking the handles off the pegs, walk your hands up the ropes or straps and reach as far as you can with straight arms. Now before you begin, let's organize the body. You're fighting against gravity, so you do want to have your low ribs in towards your spine, and then your tailbone reaching towards your heels, but hug your legs nice and tight together. And then she'll take her arms straight back towards the hips, dragging the knuckles all the way back, reaching the shoulder blades as far as she can towards her hips and lowering the arms all the way down. Great, 3 more for me. Pulling your arms all the way back, pause here, curl your tailbone towards your heels. Yes, that's it, and then lower all the way down. So when your arms go forward, this is the time, go ahead and do 2 more for me, Chanda, that you do want to maintain some resistance, right? So the carriage is coming home, but can you reach your arms forward rather than just letting the carriage pull your arms forward? Last time, pulling the arms nice and back, and then as she goes forward, she resists the pull of the spring and she decides how far and fast she'll go forward. Then for T-pull, slide your hands to the canvas straps, pause here, reach your arms like airplane wings across the room and hold. Again, shoulders down towards the hips and tailbone, nice and long. Pulling the arms back towards your hips and hold. Maintain a nice long neck, and then reach your arms forward. And again, pulling the arms back, hold it here. Reach your knuckles all the way back, and then as you open your arms up, reach your knuckles as wide as the walls in your room, right? One more time. So you're really trying to make your arms another inch longer as you come all the way home. Once the carriage is closed, hop off your box. Let's do backstroke. So take your handles both in your hands as you step off, and then I'll add another spring. So we'll have 2 springs on for backstroke. And then come all the way to the back, to the edge of the box. And then this is the hard part, so to slide all the way down without moving anything, right? We want to stay in control of our equipment, and then lie all the way down onto the box. Go ahead and scooch down. So just make sure before you begin for backstroke that you are on the edge of the box with your tailbone, and then with her hands over her forehead, she's going to curl into herself. So in a nice tight ball shape, right? This is our nice start position. Inhale, arms and legs straight up. Open the arms and legs to a V. Circle everything around and hold. Reach your shoulder blades to your hips and lift your chest higher. Then as you bend in, try to stay curled into your knees. I know it's hard. Inhale, arms and legs up, open, circle around. So right here you have this nice height. Keep that as you bend your knees in. So you try to curl into yourself to set up for the next one. Up, open, and circle, hold. Great, bend everything and don't let it go just yet. And wonderful, let's do teaser. So while Chanda slides back on her box and I'm going to take a spring off. So when you do teaser, you do want to not be at the edge where you think you're going to fall off, but if you go too far back, it does make it hard to have assistance from the straps. So taking your legs nice and long on the foot bar, wrap your outer hips around already and hug those legs nice and tight together. Then drawing your pubic bone towards your navel and your low ribs in, let's scrape the floor with your hands and roll all the way up, articulating through your spine. Hold, nice job. The first one's always a tough one, yeah? So then as you roll down, keep your arms reaching towards me and roll down vertebra by vertebra. And if you skipped a vertebra on the way up, try to find it on the way down, take an inhale, and on the next exhale, float all the way up, pulling your lower back towards the mat to come off and hold. Your tailbone's still reaching towards your toes, and then draw your spine down, toes and eyes at the same time, Chanda. Last teaser, only make you do 3. Hug the outer hips in, roll up 1 bone at a time, hold, reach your arms into your straps, and your straps pull onto your arms, and then float down bone by bone, and rest. All right, hop off your box, and let's go on to semicircle. So the straps can go into the well for this, and the box goes away. And then for semicircle, I'll set Chanda up. We'll do 2 springs, and you ideally want your springs to be on the outsides of the setup so that you can move your hips through. So then Chanda's going to lie onto her back. And for semicircle, set your feet up at the beginning. We'll do Chanda with her heels together, toes apart, but if you have knee issues, you're welcome to do parallel. Okay? Then she'll take her hands onto her shoulder blocks, and then this is the tough part. You gotta get into it with the carriage in. So lift the hips up and then float yourself forward and through. Great, and then knees only as wide as your shoulders, but let's curl your tailbone towards your knees so that's the highest point on your lower back. Yes, and then she'll roll down vertebra by vertebra. And this is another tough part in semicircle. You gotta try to keep the carriage still as possible as you wrap your ribs around the carriage, and then your hips go into the springs. And she's gonna dust the springs to go out. And I like to stop her with knees at 90 degrees. We don't have a stopper here, so we'll stop like this. And then she's gonna press into her hands and her feet to keep the carriage still as she rolls her hips up. So that is a challenge. Let's do it. Yes, keep the carriage still. And then roll the way in. And then again, 2 more times. Floating through, again, the carriage stays still as you articulate your spine, ideally, right? We try. And then she'll dust the springs, hold there, then hugging her heels nice and tight, curling her tailbone to her knees, using the back of her legs to lift her hips, and then coming all the way in. And then last time in this direction, press your hands into your shoulder blocks, float your ribs through, your pelvis hits the springs, and then press out, hold, and then massage your spine all the way up, 1 vertebra at a time, to come all the way in. Then we get to reverse it. So leaving the pubic bone up, press the carriage out. Everything stays the same until you hold. Then the carriage stays still. Again, as you roll your spine, ribs, then waistline, hips, and then come in, curling the tailbone all the way up over the feet. And again, out with the hips and roll it down, vertebra by vertebra, and then massage yourself all the way and curl the tailbone under and up, wrapping the outer hips around. Last time, press out. Great, Chanda, hold it here. Press into your feet and hands and then roll the ribs down. Roll the waistline, roll the pelvis. Bring your carriage home and then curl all the way forward and in. Stay here, pull yourself onto your carriage, trying to keep the carriage as quiet as possible. And wonderful. Let's hop off. We'll leave our springs the same, and then we'll do chest expansion. So for kneeling chest expansion, Chanda's going to come onto her carriage with her knees in her shoulder blocks. And then you want your knees to be a hip distance apart, which means you might not have your knees as wide as the shoulder blocks at your home, but whatever your hips distance is, right? And then with long parallel legs, she takes her hands up for straps, and we'll go above the clasp here today, Chanda. And then organizing your body, right? It's really easy here to stick the tailbone and the pelvis out. And what we need to do is actually draw the tailbone towards the knees and organize the hips right over the knees. It's gonna feel like your weight is at the front of your knees. It's a little precarious feeling, but we are nice and strong here. And the head is over the shoulders and the shoulder blades are down the back. And then you take an inhale and you pull the arms straight down and back, and you hold your breath as you look both ways. And then once you look forward, using your exhale, you bring the carriage home. And just like pull straps, you decide how fast that carriage goes. Inhale, pull the arms back. Hold your breath as you look both ways, and then try to reach your knuckles towards the floor to keep those shoulders out of your ears. And again, let's do another set. Pull the shoulder blades down the hips, look both ways, keeping the shoulders on your back and the collarbones open. One last time. Collarbones nice and wide, that's it, Chanda. Keeping the pelvis over the knees, reach the arms forward, slow the carriage down with control, and then. Thank you, Chanda, for being my body. I'm Lesley Logan, I'm here in LA, and I look forward to seeing you soon.